All right, everybody, welcome to What It Takes, a mini-series where I ask the same questions to elite coaches, and they talk about what it takes to become an elite coach. I'm your host, Kevin Shaw, and today we are talking with 7-star diamond and 3-time elite coach, Jaclyn Stokes. Jaclyn, welcome to What It Takes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet. Hey, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I live in Pittsburgh. I've been with my husband for almost 11 years, married for almost 8. And we have a beautiful little girl, McKenna. She's almost 6, and she's actually the reason I started this business. Our other 4-legged child is our boxer. We have a dog. And what a lot of people don't know about me is that I'm actually a huge introvert. I'm actually still really shy, although I'm getting better. So before coaching, I was a medical device sales rep, and now I've been a full-time coach for 3 years now. And I just can't express how grateful we are for the coaching business. It's completely changed our lives, and it's been such a blessing to our families.
That's awesome. I can't wait to dive into it. And thank you for expressing that you're an introvert. Introverts unite. I feel you.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Let's dive right into these questions. Jaclyn, how were you introduced to Beachbody?
So before I had my daughter, I was a gym rat, like my whole life. And I was 7 months pregnant, and I was at the gym, and I saw this girl who I knew just had a baby, and she looked amazing. So I kind of started becoming friends with her and asked her for fitness advice, things like that. And then she found me on Facebook one day, and we kind of stayed in touch. And then it wasn't until after I had my daughter 2 years later. I hadn't been to the gym since I was 7 months pregnant. And this girl I knew from the gym, who we're now Facebook friends, I saw she posted her transformation after, I knew she's had her 3rd baby. And I swear she had like a 12-pack. And so I messaged her, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And she said, hey girl, I'm doing Insanity. And I was like, oh my gosh. So before I didn't let her talk anymore, I went on eBay and I bought it like 2 seconds later. Yeah, that was me. So I bought Insanity, and I did it for like 3 weeks. And I remember she was messaging me like, you should get Shakeology and like join my challenge group. And I was like, no girl, like I don't need a shake and I don't need any help. Like I've been in the fitness my whole life. Like I'm good. And so I did it on my own, but I lasted maybe 3 weeks. And then I had no support system. I was eating like crap. Life got hard. And I was just like, you know what, this just isn't for me. And so I actually posted on Facebook that day that I was trying to sell my eBay copy of Insanity. And she's like, what are you doing? And I just said, you know what, it's just not for me. I'm just going to like, in my head, I was like, I'm just going to let myself go because that's acceptable. Like now I'm a mom and I'm busy. So whatever. And that was it. I just kind of brushed it off. And, so in the meantime, a couple months went by, and I just became just really unfulfilled. This had been growing on me that I was just really unfulfilled in my job. Again, I worked 60 hours a week. I was in medical sales, and you know, I never saw my daughter, and I just had stress at work. And you know, even though I did a good job, we were still paycheck to paycheck with all of our bills coming in, and so that had marital stress. And it was one day I saw this show about these like mompreneurs and how they have like these home businesses and they get to do what they love. And now they're fulfilled. And I thought that's time to do. And so I started like researching all these things I could do from home, things I could invent. Like I was thinking of like everything I could do. And then one night I just actually like really, really prayed on it. And I just did everything that I wanted to have in like my dream job. And the next morning is when I saw another post from this girl who I knew from the gym on Facebook, but it was about coaching, how she got to be home with her kids, helping others, and that she loved what she did. And I said, okay. So I messaged her and asked her a million questions and researched a million things. And 3 days later, I signed up. And my husband wasn't happy about it because we were paycheck to paycheck. And he's like, what is this thing? But I just was determined to make it work and went all in. And here I am 3.5 years later. So.
Wow. What a roller coaster ride that you just took us on. That is phenomenal. We're grateful that you finally decided to come to Beachbody. Great. All right. So Jaclyn, describe what those early days looked like as a coach.
Gosh, so I ended up leaving my job 8 months into coaching.
Wow.
But before that, I worked 60 hours a week, and I wasn't a morning person, but I decided I have to be a morning person because I have no other time. So I got up really early, and I would do as much work as I could in the morning, maybe like an hour before work. On my lunch break, I was on my phone just trying to like return messages, things like that, get my posts in. After work, I was squeezing in like a half an hour or so. And then I had to have family time. But once my daughter went to bed, I told my husband, like, I need to make this work. I have to make some sacrifices. But I remember watching videos. I think it was like Scotty Hobbs when he talked about, you know, how the sacrifices are short term. Yeah. And so I said, it's going to be a little hard for a little while, but it's going to be temporary. And so we sacrificed some time together. You know, after she went to bed, I worked my business. But it was 7 months, and then I was able to leave my job and then have more flexible time. So it was probably like 2 hours a day I was putting in, but like in different pockets of time. So
very cool. I love that quote about the small sacrifices leads to big gains. I love that. Great stuff. Yeah. All right, Jaclyn. So what do you feel are some attributes or habits you have that contribute to your success?
I think that I had such a really powerful why when I started. So it wasn't just like, oh, I want to do this. It sounds fun. I could use extra money. Like I was desperate to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was literally willing to do like whatever it took to like make it happen because, you know, before I said that prayer that night, I had like hit rock bottom with my life and my job, and my job was creating all the stress. And I just said, when I wake up tomorrow, my life's gonna be different and I'm never going back there. And then the next day is when I found coaching. And so I just knew that if I didn't make this work, I was going to go back to that. Yeah. And I refused to go back to that. And I would never be a stay-at-home mom in the job that I had. And so I just had a really powerful why. I was willing to work for it. So I had a really strong work ethic. And I think I had a very crystal clear vision from day one of where I was going, you know? So very cool. I didn't know how I was going to make it work. I just knew I was going to make it work. And I saw other successful coaches doing it. And I just said, why not me?
Yeah. So very good. I love that strong why. That really, really is, because it's ingrained in you, it takes you a long ways into this business. Very cool. Yeah. All right. So what advice do you have for a brand new coach who doesn't know where to start? What can they start doing today to achieve long-term success?
So I actually have a couple, so I'll go through really quickly. Okay. I would say, first of all, you have to turn your shoulds into musts. So everyone has a list of things they should do, whether it's your business activity tracker or your power hour to-do list, whatever you're using. But those things that you should be doing every day in your business, if you really want this to work, those shoulds have to be musts. If it's going to drive your business forward, you must do them. If it's important to you. Be consistent always, 4 vital behaviors, and of course on social media, regardless of what's going on in your life, because life is always going to happen. So you're just going to kind of roll with it. Success Club has to be non-negotiable from day one. So you to really kind of raise the standard for yourself and for your team right away from the gate. Go to every event, get on every team call, every national wake-up call, even if you watch the recordings, just do it, fit it in. Success leaves clues. So one of the things that really helped me is I started following top coaches from day one, and I would mimic them. I wouldn't copy them, but I use them for inspiration. So, okay, would a top coach post this? Would a top coach talk like this? Would they share this kind of picture? So that's how I really learned, but I made it my own. So I followed them on YouTube, things like that. Be a sponge, be coachable. Dig deep to find your why. It has to be more than I want to make money. You know, what's the real reason why you want to accomplish those surface goals? What does it mean to you? Dream big. Think, why not me? And create a vision board from day one. I did this probably my first month as a coach. I had my visions, where I wanted to be, my personal goals, my business goals, where I could see them every single day. And I spent only like 3 to 5 minutes on them every day. But I would visualize my goals as if I'd already achieved them. I wouldn't worry about how I was going to get there. I just visualized it's going to happen for me and how that felt. And I used positive affirmations and said out loud, I'm an elite coach, when I was a diamond coach. So I really like to dream big. So I'd encourage you to do that early on. Be excited, enthusiastic about this business. Don't overthink it, and go all in. So have that mindset of be here in a year, or maybe be here in 2 years. It was never really a year for me. It's always the long-term goal, but just go all in and just envision your life where you're going to be in a year or two from now. It's pretty exciting.
Wow, that was a list of advice. I love that. You just kept on going down that list, and all of them are.
I had so many.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing all that great advice for a new coach. Okay, so switching gears, what about the coach who is struggling or is thinking about giving up? What advice do you have for them?
Again, I think a lot of it goes back to your why. So I would focus on your why and then ask yourself, this is what I did for me. Because life's going to happen. Last year I almost died twice. Then we moved twice. It was like, life's going to happen, whether you're a new coach, seasoned coach. These are always going to happen where it makes this business hard, or you feel like I can't do this anymore. Is this for me? So again, you focus on your why and ask yourself, would you be okay with giving up that dream if you quit?
Wow.
Or would you regret it the rest of your life? So for me, I was like, my family will never have all of these things. So go back to your why. And if what you're doing isn't working, change it, try again, change it, try again. Just keep trying and trying again, but don't ever give up. You will eventually find your way and what works for you. And lastly, you cannot do enough personal development. Usually if you're frustrated, you're not doing enough personal development. So I would say do that at least 30 minutes a day. Make that your goal.
Me on the carpet. I love that. That was very deep, very cool. Okay, and regarding your personal business, what is the best advice you have ever received?
I've said a lot, but something that I think really helped me was, don't compare yourself to others, because everyone's story and their life situation behind closed doors or behind social media is completely different. So, and then my team and with coaches, you're always going to have coaches who maybe don't have the same vision as you, or don't have the same work ethic, or coaches that quit or whatnot. So you really just have to work with a willing, and always be adding to your business every single month, no matter what. And then what else? That's probably it. Just more live events, more personal development. The more I've done that, the more it's really helped me as a coach and as a person.
Cool. All right, on to the speed round. Jaclyn, this is where I ask you rapid fire questions. I'm just looking for simple answers.
Okay.
On average, how much time do you spend working your business each day?
Let me see. I have like one day where I put in like an 8-hour day, but normally it's like a 3 to 4 hour day. But Friday to Saturday, maybe an hour or two.
Okay. And what is your average SC each month?
It's usually 20 to 25.
Okay. And what percentage of time do you focus on your own business versus your team?
It varies, but I'd say probably 70-30.
Okay. And what leadership ladder rung are you at right now?
Team leader.
Team leader. Okay, guys, it is time for questions from Matt. Jaclyn has no idea what question I'm going to ask. It is the favorite segment of the day. Here we go. Jaclyn, what are you afraid of?
Oh my gosh. What am I afraid of? Gosh, I went to Tony Robbins this month. I got rid of a lot of my fears, but oh my gosh, this is so hard.
This is the hard. It stumps everybody. You're afraid of nothing?
I'm afraid of heights. Yeah, I'm afraid of heights.
Go with that.
Sorry, that's kind of cliche, but
besides heights, guys, Jaclyn is practically perfect in every way. That was phenomenal. Okay, guys, great stuff from Jaclyn. Jaclyn, thank you so much for being willing to share all of your tips, all of your secrets, all of your advice. Guys, she just laid it out on the table. This is what you got to do to become a successful elite coach. Jaclyn, thank you for joining us on What It Takes.
Thank you for having me.